Okay, well, no, they moved the minutes. Any second? Anybody seconds?
A second.
Okay, please, we'll get your seconds. Thank you. With that, we go straight to matters arising from the minutes.
Vote, correction, vote. There was a move and a second. Now you have to vote.
Any objection? Is the seconded? Any objection? No. Okay, yes, matters arising from the minutes.
Excuse me. Maria, do you have a copy of those minutes with you?
I have one copy.
Just
I don't know
one?
if there's a copy of it.
Those are the things that should be in our package.
Okay, matters arising. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, Mr. Moderator, in those minutes, in the Minnesota Convention, a board of directors for this association was appointed. Can I know the fate of that board of directors today from the president? And then I may have a response to that. That is reflected in the minutes that the board of directors for this organization was appointed. And up to today, I wish to know whether this board has been active, has been working.
Yeah. Dr. Longa, that's a really good question. I would like everyone to listen to my response. When we had this controversy of who has to be in the board and who cannot be in the board, it was getting to a point where I thought for the best interest of the organization would postpone that problem to this. They will meet at this convention or this move and decide who is going to be in the board. One of the reasons was because if you look at the Constitution, it has names of people who will be life members in the board because they were in Atlanta. And we thought it would not be a good representation of our youths who are coming up that we have a particular group of people who will be in the board. So members, you think about it. Is it fair that a group of people have to be in the board every year, or we should rotate the members of the board? I decided that we'll just keep a hold on that until we discuss it at this membership. I think this is the right place to talk about that.
No, that's the man who has the question. Did you hear his answer? And do you have anything to say?
No.
Other people have an opportunity, but it's his question. So
the board was appointed, I think, 8 members by that General Assembly. They elected or appointed 8 members to be in the board. Shortly after that, the board was suspended by the president. Can I know which clause of the previous constitution gave him the authority to suspend a board of directors, an organ of the organization? The reason I ask this, because a new constitution has been written. If that constitution is also violated in the future, we'll have the same problem. You don't write constitutions, you invite them to follow them as the best as possible. So the president decided to suspend the board. May I know what authority this constitution gave him to suspend the board? Because the board had to be a function, it's an organ of the organization. is not just a group of members. And this assembly appointed the board members. And it's this assembly that had the right to take action on the board. So that's the comment that I have to make. Pa Mukete's hand was up.
I have to answer. You want to ask me a question? I have to answer. Dr. Longe, there are so many reasons why we had to. We did not write a new constitution. All we did was corrected a few sections that were contradicting. Where I had the authority, because the old constitution says that the president of Bafaw USA will preside over the National Assembly and the Board of Directors. I am answerable to the Board of Directors. I cannot preside over, so I look at the old constitution and use that phrase to say, okay, I'm going to suspend all of this because the headache was coming too much until we come to this assembly to correct that. And that's one of the clauses that we corrected, because I cannot be reporting to the National Assembly and also to the Board of Directors and preside over their meetings, which gives me the authority that I can control the General Assembly and the Board of Directors. So we have to correct that. That is why I said, for the interest of the organization, I had to tell everyone I know, let's keep this, because the tension was getting too much that it was not to the benefit of the association. And as president, I think it's my responsibility to make sure that if things are getting too heated up, I have to calm them down so that we can resolve the issue.
Okay, Pa, don't get give.
Yeah, it's just what the president just said. I know when things were heating up, he sent out an email to everybody that, okay, this is the situation. Do you want us to look at the problem and amend the constitution? And majority of the people agreed. I was trying to remind the president that he might have forgotten that the board of directors, the amended constitution had addressed that issue.
No. I'm not questioning the new constitution. I have not read it. I'm not in the A group, so I cannot question what is there. But I am saying that when the Vice President of the United States presides over the Senate, and to me that is the same authority we gave our President. The Vice President is an executive, and so it's the same authority we gave the President in that old constitution. But the board was suspended, and I'm not questioning the new constitution at all, but I'm saying that the board has not been functional within Bafaw because it was unilaterally suspended by the president. And that is what who was one of the members of that board, I take issue, and I sent an email to that it is only the General Assembly that can take such an action. But if he explains to us that he did it because he wanted to quieten the issues, but the Constitution says he only presides over the meeting of the board. He does not have authority to suspend the board.
Okay.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay, thank you. Please. I thank you very, very much. And I sense the excitement, the enthusiasm on this issue. I think we have to move forward. No, please.
Can I ask a question?
Please. We want to seek a way forward. Is there a suggestion?
Yes.
Okay, one suggestion on how, we're not going to argue anymore because one, there was an issue, two, there's been an action taken. We want to go forward what is our solution going forward? Do you have a suggestion based on that? Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. If you want a suggestion going forward, then we have to look into the bylaws. The bylaws are there for us to follow. And we had issues. I don't think there's anybody here who doesn't believe that there were things in that bylaw that needs to be changed. But that same bylaw told us how things have to be done. If you look at that bylaw, it tells you how things to be. There's a process to follow. That process wasn't followed. What the president would have done is tell the people, the General Assembly made that decision by getting a board. It was not within his powers to change that decision. Because if you look at the bylaws, it tells you the General Assembly has the final say. Now, there is a difference between the General Assembly and the other groups which are other when it's not a convention.
Polite that somebody is talking and your hand is up.
When it's not a convention. The president would have moved that to this convention, and then here it will be decided. The process at which the new bylaws were created and voted online were also not correct against what is in the previous bylaws. The previous bylaws said if you're making an amendment, it has to be during the move. That wasn't done. If we keep going that route, the next executive can decide to say, I don't like what the General Assembly said, rallies his friends, and they come up with another decision. We will be in chaos if that's the route we are about to go.
Okay.
So what I am saying
Please,
is that
let him land.
those bylaws, in one of the planning committee meetings that I attended, I told them, I read those bylaws, the things that we need to change, but that the process wasn't followed. The process has to be followed.
So what do you suggest?
What I suggest is that process, when you do bylaws according to the old bylaws, you put them out there, people read them, then they come to the board for debate and approval. That process was not done, and then they went ahead and did a bylaw. When you have the process going on here, it's 3/4 of the vote. During the one they had online, it was not 3/4. The president sent out an email, just a simple majority. We're messing with the bylaws, and when you mess with the bylaws, that group is not going to last.
They're breaking the
This,
foundation. of
when
the-
you're saying something, this is what I appreciate you doing. Either backing what they're saying or counter what they say. Anybody has what has been said or counter what has been said?
Yes.
Okay.
Counter.
Ma, you've not said anything.
Bando.
Yes, Bando, you've not said anything.
Hannah started this by Munyenge. Is that Munyenge? Now which one we did? Eningan and Usuya. What I want to say is that I want to really go against what our former president said. I will make it quick. Please, let me take a deep breath because I don't want to say it in a condescending manner. So I want to really take my time to calm down and say it right. Actually, when you elect an executive, as they did in Minnesota, that executive has the right to rule your government not based on the past executive, but based on what they have been elected to do. So to me, I don't see it right that an old executive would tell the new executive how to run your business.
Thank you.
When you vote, when Obama was elected as president, Bush did not come to tell, he's not telling Obama what to do. Obama is doing what Obama has to do. This executive was voted, they got the majority, they were elected, and they won, and everybody applauded in Minnesota. We gave them the powers to do what they had to do. Now coming to this constitution or the bylaws that our former president is referring to, I don't go to that internet that much, or to the website that much to read, but when I go once in a while, I go there and I read. I've never made any comments to that website since, and I've attended every single book. But when I read that, he gave that option that Papa Kama is talking about. That option was there. He sought the opinion of the people. He did not single-handedly come up with that. He sought the opinion of the people, and the people responded, and majority of the people responded, and he went with the majority. And that's how he came up with what we have. So if we're bickering over what has been done, because it maybe wasn't done right, based on the old executive, the old has gone, the new has come.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I just want to remind everybody that we've been in this meeting for, I don't know, a couple of years, and we never had this executive board. We ran smoothly.
Thank you.
And this whole thing brought so much confusion. The purpose of the meeting is for us to be together as Bafaw. That is the purpose of the meeting. It's not to have this board or this executive or this president or this whoever. The purpose is to have a meeting that we're going to work together in love and in unity. If there's a problem in the meeting and the people raise their voices and they want to solve it this way, I think our voices should be respected. That is my opinion. And if there's a problem, we still have time. We can vote if we want to keep the old constitution or the new constitution and settle it and leave it alone and move forward in love and in unity. All this back and forth is unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
Thank you.
Okay, Papa, you have something to add or something?
Very supporting how they've done, okay? My brothers and my sisters, I'm not going to mince my word what I'm going to say. It's really derivative to see that the people who initiated this organization more than 4 years ago, they find themselves being,